Good evening. We bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Paulo Del Rosario.
We give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite sports icons and athletes. I'm Boom Gonzalez, and in tonight's game plan, we'll give you the latest updates from Day 4 of the ongoing PBA All-Filipino Cup semifinals.
We'll find out more courtside stories from the 2022 PVL Invitational semis. And we welcome our gold medalists in the 2022 ASEAN Paralympic Games. Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a series. The Meralco Bolts have tied their best-of-7 matchup against the San Miguel Beermen after a convincing Game 4 win. Meralco Bolts tied up at 2 games apiece. 111-97 was the final score in a game where Meralco just came out red hot. Aaron Black, top scorer with 21 points, 7 rebounds and 7 assists. Really a near triple-double there. Alain Maliksi found his shooting touch, 19 points and 4 rebounds off 4 of 7 from beyond the arc. Wow. Meanwhile, Game 4 between the Magnolia Hotshots and the TNT Tropang Giga is still ongoing. To wrap up today's doubleheader, at the moment, the TNT Tropang Giga lead by 4 going to the halftime break. Still anyone's game there, Boom, but incredible stuff that Meralco was able to pull off to tie up the series.
The triumvirate, you mentioned Aaron Black. Almazan also did very well today. Alongside Alain Maliksi, the triumvirate, if I'm not mistaken, shot 11 of 15 from the field. Altogether, they were ahead by as much as 22 points in that game. Tell me what it is that you saw that made the difference in that game, in the bounce-back game from Game 3.
Well, you just look at the shooting. Very simply put, they shot the ball a lot better, 56% for Meralco, and on the other side, only 38%. And that's for the entire field goal percentage of the San Miguel Beermen. Of course, when you look at the San Miguel Beermen's starters and then their star players, only 3 of them really showed up, which are the guys that you would have expected. That's Junmar Fajardo, that's CJ Perez. Marshall Laster finally had a great bounce-back game, but apart from that, no other scorer in double digits for the San Miguel Beermen. The Meralco Bolts, on the other hand, had guys like Aaron Black. Cliff Hodge hit a big 3 actually in the 4th quarter, and I will never get used to seeing him hit 3-pointers with regularity. You also have guys like Alain Maliksi, as well as Bong Quinto and Raymond Almazan scoring in double digits for Meralco. I had to check my phone to make sure that all the numbers were right, but there you go. Meralco just got more help from so many places.
4 or 5 players in double figures. And as you said, we have a series. A lot of people didn't expect.
I didn't.
A lot of people didn't predict 2-2.
I did not think so. Yeah,
you're
right.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Okay, and more hoop news. The Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas has made it official. Kai Sotto is set to return to the national squad. In a statement, the SBP confirms that Sotto will join the Gilas Pilipinas men's national team for the FIBA Basketball World Cup window for qualifiers versus Lebanon and Saudi Arabia this month. Now, of course, aside from Sotto, NBA Utah Jazz star Jordan Clarkson is also set to reinforce the national squad 4 years after his first stint with Gilas Pilipinas in 2018.
I was going to say Utah Jazz star at the moment for now because of all the moves happening in Utah. But I think it's fair to say, because we're actually going to get to see Jordan Clarkson.
First of all, some great news, pal.
Great news,
right?
Absolutely, great news.
Right.
On the 29th, when we'll actually have the chance to see them play in front of a home crowd, both Jordan Clarkson and Kai Sotto. So I can only imagine the excitement level for the fans there to see the 2 of them suit up for Gilas.
For the fans, maybe even, dare I say, for each other.
Oh, yeah.
To be able to play with each other. I would like to think Kai is excited to play alongside Jordan Clarkson too. Alongside other players who have committed, like Ray Park, Dwight Ramos, Kiefer and 30. Am I correct by assuming that?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of those guys as well to be involved. And remember, it's a home and away game. There's a game against Lebanon a few days before. And the PBA players who do not make the finals will also be included in the pool. So this potentially could be the strongest Gilas Pilipinas pool lineup that we're going to have in well, that we've had in the past few windows. So let's see
Paper,
what happens there.
on paper, obviously.
Yeah.
Now the question will always be about, the time to play together, chemistry. I know Kai will have, a week to kind of familiarize himself, if I may use the word, with some former teammates or some good friends and all that. But what about the Jordan Clarkson addition? Obviously, he's going to be at the forefront of that. But what kind of adjustment can we even assume?
I'm actually curious to see how we'll adjust in terms of him being on the floor. Like, we're not used to having an NBA talent play for the Philippines, but at the same time also, I think that he's just so talented that he should be able to fit into our systems, and
Medyo
it should be
talented.
medyo talented. He's NBA player lang naman. Oh,
Medyo talented.
anyway, we'll talk a lot more about that in the coming days, but for now, after the break, we'll find out some more insider stories from the heart of volleyball. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game.
Welcome back. You're still watching The Game. The 2022 PVL Invitational Conference is down to its last few games, but it's sure filled with exciting stories on and off the court. To find out more about the top teams and the players, we have with us PVL insiders Franny Reyes and Sam Corrales. Good evening, ladies.
Good evening.
Hello.
There's so much energy with that. I don't know kung loaded siya o hindi.
Ang formal no? Good evening, ladies. Hello, how are you? Okay, let's talk about the players first. The middle blockers this conference have had such a great conference in general. So I want to start with them. Nika Reyes, Del Palomata. Unfortunately, they let go of the rope yesterday, but they have been playing spectacular though.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about these two. Because there's just such a juxtaposition, a big word, but Nika Reyes, the veteran, right? Compared to Del Palomata, who's newer to the team.
Yeah.
And what's nice is you see Del's growth throughout the conference. How she's playing more confidently. Their last game with King Whale Taipei, I noticed she was much more vocal. And I remember like the first game I covered, she was not vocal at all, really. She's quite quiet, and I even saw like the coaches take her to the side after one of the timeouts just to talk to her. But now she's really come into her own. And I like to think that has something to do with Mika Reyes' leadership also in the team. She knows how to guide these girls with her years of experience. And it's nice to see that, it's not just her getting those solid blocks in, but Del as well.
We've been waiting for years for Del, to really reach that potential. Because obviously you see the height, you see the training, you see the potential. But some players come into their own and find their own home. Takes a while.
Yeah, it does. And you know what? When you watch her play, there's a bit of swag there too.
Now.
Now there is, right? Absolutely. Sam, I want to ask you that. Did you see that growth as well, watching her up close?
Well, definitely for sure. I mean, like what Franny said, she was quite shy at the start of the conference. But it's so nice to see all of these, blockers, and actually, regardless of the position, everybody's really growing here. With the PVL, expect the unexpected, really, because you'll never know who's gonna have a great game and explode. Later on, we'll be talking about Jules Samonte, another player stepping up. So that's what makes it so much fun. Witnessing all of their stories and their growth. In such a short amount of time.
You know what? They're growing with the league. That's why. That's what's happening. Franny, you were there yesterday with that emotional come from behind win by the King Whale team from Taipei. I honestly thought they were done. They were down 4 in that 5th. They looked gassed. How did they pull it off? Is it just because they were youthful? Is that they're a bunch of young collegiate, some of them, right? Players.
Watching them play, they don't show that they're frustrated. They're very calm and collected the whole game. They have this mindset, I think, of just playing volleyball. So after each error, they got up and then they moved on to the next play. They moved on to the next dig. And I think that really helped them keep composed, especially against PLDT. And they've mentioned it, in the pre-game, post-game interview as well, that they were so excited to be part of this conference, and they trained really hard just so that they could keep up with the pros.
With the little communication gap that we have, we get that excitement from them.
Yeah, I mean, we watched them play, and actually, I covered their first game. You could see the excitement in their bodies physically. It did come out, Franny. When you talk about the love that they're getting, because there's so much love that they're getting right now, especially after what they've shown against Army and PLDT. And do you feel that the Filipino fans have finally taken to them and almost adopted them in terms of supporting them as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna butcher her name, Sensi, or they said her nickname was Panay. She said that, the first game here, they were a little nervous. They didn't really feel like they were in their skin. But in the post-game interview, she said, now it feels like they're home because they've been here 4 days, they've adjusted more. And I think that's also a testament to how welcoming we've been as a Philippine volleyball community.
Yeah, I saw that interview. That's what I'm talking about. You got it from those little words that she said that, the first day was a bit of an adjustment, but the second day they felt a little more home, which is great news because they're going to be playing again on Friday, right? That's 2 undefeated teams, if I'm not mistaken, Creamline and them. What are your thoughts on that? And Sam, interject also anytime you want about this Creamline matchup.
Yeah, I think it should definitely be exciting. King Whale Taipei's coach has already expressed, excitement playing against Eliza, who she got to coach when Eliza did her stint there. But I think, it would be in the coach's best interest to also remember that they have a Tots Carlos, a Gemma Galanza, a Gia Morado.
Siguro nag-scout na yun naman siguro.
I mean, it's not just Eliza, it's this whole unit that is Creamline.
We also have to talk about the health here, Sam, because of a lot of there's been a lot of adjustments from the health and safety protocols to the fact that the games are coming in fast and furious. I mean, we can't predict the future of what Creamline would do, but then would it be a surprise to you if maybe a few changes in terms of what we see from Creamline because of what we're seeing in terms of health and what they have ahead of them in the finals for sure.
Well, I think it's too early to tell, but
Yeah.
based on my conversations with the players, like in their last game against Signal, they're still training how they normally would.
Yeah.
So, every day, like 5 or 6 a.m., still long hours, really.
So you mean Gemma's still sleeping at 7 p.m.?
I was gonna bring that
still
up.
sleeping at 7 p.m.?
So let's see if she has a stream today. But no, really, like regardless of the team, all of these girls are really taking their rest seriously. I also got the chance to speak to their SNC coaches.
Yeah.
And, pre-game, they all have their rituals, having, their drinks, making sure that everybody has enough carbs, enough food, just to power them through. Because you'll never know if it's a 3-setter or a 5-setter game.
And here's the thing, we all know Creamline is not the type to like step off the gas.
Yeah.
They're so competitive, bearing, non-bearing, doesn't matter, safe in the whatever, in this semifinals or what, they'll always go all out, and that's why fans love watching them, and that's why Friday is going to be very interesting.
And they enjoy every time.
Yeah.
I mean, like what Creamline does, like we were talking about middle blockers na si
Yeah.
Pangs Panaga, what she would, always say is that magtitingin na lang sila. They'll just look into each other's eyes and they know what to do without the coach being there. So let's see how that plays out on Friday.
Two happy teams on Friday.
Yeah,
That's
very,
going to be
very
interesting.
happy.
Now, from the PVL, we shift to courtside action in the UAP. The search is on for the next set of correspondents. Let's watch this.
Hey everybody, it's Dandy Baharias, Simmer UAP Season 84 correspondent for the UE Lady Warriors, inviting all of you guys to audition to be the next Season 85 correspondent. Now, being one is one of the best things that could happen to you. You learn from the best people in this business and you're able to create relationships with your team and tell and write their stories for the whole world to listen to. So if this is something you're interested in, you're 18 to 23 years old and are enrolled in any UAP school, send over your CV and a 90-second video explaining why you want to be a correspondent and of course introducing yourself. Send it over to uap at signaltv.com.ph until August 14, 2022. And remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So send in that application. Good luck!
Thank you, Dandy. Now, let's relive some of the most memorable moments from the UAP and find out what it takes to be our correspondent from former correspondents and batchmates, right? Your batchmates, season 81,
Season 81.
which seems so long ago, according to Sam.
Yeah,
Before the
81.
pandemic.
Before the pandemic.
Oh,
my
boy.
goodness.
Oh, season 81.
Okay. So first of all, I'm sure that you watched the correspondence throughout the season in particular, and I think it's safe to say that the skill set hasn't changed. In terms, even it's been a pandemic in between. When you look at what is needed right now, and that you wish you knew beforehand, Sam, I want to start with you. What do you wish that you knew before you came into the correspondence family?
I think it's just, before you get in, you'll never know what to expect. So I wish that I knew how to adapt on the fly. I mean, right? Because you'll never know if they'll ask you to report like with the new correspondents on Zoom, right?
Yeah.
And they all had to do their interviews beforehand. So it's really up to you how to build rapport with these athletes. So really, like, hats off to them. They did such a great job in season 84. I mean, always ready to adapt and always having that growth mindset, which I think is super important if you want to be a correspondent.
Yeah, we're looking at photos of your past, by the way, that felt like years ago, according to you.
Oh, yeah. Sam, of course, for those who don't know, reported for UP. Franny reported for Ateneo. All right, what are we looking for? Okay, Paolo said that there are some things that have changed or might not have changed, but there are some things that have evolved also in terms of the world of reporting and segment hosting and all of that. What kind of skills are we looking for the next batch?
Well, first, I would say it's, having that good relationship with the athletes, with the production team, and just always knowing how to build rapport. Because at the end of the day, these are also, humans like us, and we're here to bring out, their human side to them. They're not just, like robots and athletes. And I think, Franny, like, correct me if I'm wrong, you should always have an open mind because,
Yes.
again, You can never be so sure, and the biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. So, would you agree that having a growth mindset is super important?
Yeah, you always want to be open to learning, right? No matter what you're doing. And I think there's a lot to learn from, people on the broadcast team, the athletes, the coaches, even the fans. There's a lot that you can absorb, being a sponge, and it adds to the storytelling. I would say that, as a correspondent or a segment host, it's really important that you are in tune with also what the players are like.
Yeah.
You have to respect, this is their league. This is them, they're athletes, they care about this a lot. And we kind of have to get a little crafty with how we get our interviews, how we do justice to the stories that we're telling.
Well, give yourself some credit. You guys did such incredible work in the UAP and continue to do so as both of you have evolved now in the way that you are hosting and reporting for us in the PVL or wherever it is or here on the game. Thank you very much, Sam. Thank you very much, Franny.
Thank you
and
for having
congratulations.
us.
Remember, August 14 is our final day for submissions.
Soon. Very soon.
That's Sunday, right? So that's the deadline, August 14, submissions for the new correspondents. After the break, we'll meet our gold medalists in the 2022 Paralympic Games. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game.
Watching the game. The Philippines came up with their best output, bringing home 104 medals in the 2022 ASEAN Paralympic Games. Joining us today are three Filipino athletes who made us all proud. Swimming's Marco Tinamisan and Roland Sabido and racer Gerald Mangliwan. Guys, welcome to the game. Maraming salamat. Thank you very much for taking the time. Gerald, I want to start off with you kasi syempre, veterano ka na eh. You've seen the performances of the Philippines so far throughout the different years, and of course, you've represented the country very well in the past before. What made this particular ASEAN Para Games different? Kasi grabe, yung whole ng Pilipinas ngayon, napaka-impressive.
Well, sir, kumbaga, iba siya nung nakaraang mga, kasi ako, special to sa akin kasi kumbaga, after 7 years, kumbaga, last kasi na nagkaroon ng medal is 2015. So, 7 years na inantay ko, kumbaga, nag-prepare talaga ako dito na nabigyan ako ng ulit na opportunity na ito, kumbaga, mag-perform ulit ng despite sa mga nakaraang, di ba, nagdaan kasi tayo ng mga pandemic. So, nagkaroon kami ng gap ng hindi nakapaglaro ng 2019 supposedly dito. So nagkaroon ng kumbaga sabi nila baka hindi rin matutuloy ngayong edition, yung 11th edition. So nagkaroon siya ng so sabi ko sa sarili ko, hindi ko sasayangin yung opportunity na to. So ayun, nagbunga naman po.
Alright, lipat ako kay Roland. Roland, bilang kapitan ng ating swimming team at patungan ko na yung sinasabi ni Paolo na maganda yung ginawa natin. The swimming team did so well dito in this edition. Pwede mo ba ikwento ano naging sikreto ng buong team? You know, ikaw, si Marco, si Ariel, si Angel, napakaganda ng mga performances nyo. In general, pati na rin ikaw, obviously, from an individual standpoint. Ano naging sikreto dito?
Siguro po, dahil sa kung parang ng swimming team sa laro. Dahil sabi nga ni Kuya Gerald, medyo matagal na rin bago kami nagka-ASEAN Para Games. So, at saka yung tiyaga talaga, yung pagsikap ng team, andun. Umpisa pa lang ng training, maganda na yung pinapakita ng mga bagong athlete at saka mga veteranong swim.
Marco, 2 gold medals, 100-meter freestyle at 50-meter freestyle. At rookie ka pa lang. I could only imagine what you felt. Nervyos ka ba bago yung Para Games? Sorry, nakamute ka yata.
Baka nakamute si... Yan!
Yon.
Okay, game.
Game.
Para sa akin po kasi, di ba baguhan lang po ako. Siyempre na doon, di po mawala din yung kaba. Pero kahit na doon po, pinipil kung ano, yun talagang pangarap po namin. Yung talagang team.
Okay, we're having a little audio problems with the Marco right now. Ang ganda rin ng kwento ni Marco from napanood pa kita kahit noong mga 2014, 2015 sa palarong pambansa na hindi ka pa nananalo noon sa palarong pambansa. Ngayon, ito may ginto ka na dito sa Paralympic Games. Congratulations to you. Gerald, balik lang ako sa iyo saglit. Ito ba yung ganda ng ipinakita mo rin dito? Nagbunga rin ba to dahil dun sa kahit paano magandang pinakita mo sa Tokyo? Alam ko na break mo yung personal record mo sa Tokyo nung nag-usap tayo last time dito sa The Game.
Yes sir, kumbaga yung momentum andun na kasi hindi rin naman ako nagminto ng training ko kasi after ng Tokyo talagang sabi ko nga po talagang mag-prepare talaga ako dito sa Southeast Asian na to kasi for the longest time nga po is wala kumbaga yung pagkakataon na before kasi wala pong 7 years na po na wala pong medal. So, alam mo yung parang gutom ka na na mag-produce ulit ng So, yun yung lang eh. And of course, yung kasi yung nagkakaroon ka rin ng kumpiyansa sa sarili kasi nga po yung instinct ko sa Tokyo is nagkaroon po ng magagandang record yung although hindi tayo nakakuha ng medal pero yung personal best ko is na-reach ko sila eh. So, nakuha ko eh. So, yun yung nagkaroon ng momentum para may tuloy-tuloy po yung yung nangyari ngayon po.
Siyempre, we can't be any more prouder of the three of you gentlemen, the rest of yung Team Philippines. I wanna ask Roland before we go, siyempre, great performance there for yung swimming team natin. How exciting is yung development ninyo so far at how excited should we be para sa mga susunod nyo ng competition?
Ano plano?
Alright, so we're at the moment, we're having a bit of audio problems right now, gentlemen. Pero next time, sa susunod nyo na competition, we're
Sana
gonna try
dito
to have
na.
you over. Oh,
Dito
balita
na.
ko, isa sa inyo, malapit lang sa amin eh. Dapat nandito kayo sa studio eh. Pero next time na lang yan. Gentlemen, again, congratulations and thank you very much for your time.
And we're very, very proud of you guys. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. I'm Boom Gonzalez.
And I'm Paul Del Rosario. This has been The Game.